Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I paint a lot of flowers. I have a son, Owen, who is 11, and he has autism, and we paint together. So, he helps me paint the backgrounds, and then I paint the rest. We use a hand-over-hand method, and it's to work on his fine motor skills. And I'm completely and totally distracted tonight. If a million things in a million ways in a million days are running through my mind. So, and someone is having a party down the street. I don't know exactly what they're celebrating on a Sunday night and being very loud, but I can hear it all the way down at my house. So and now see, a car is going off. I'm just hoping they do not wake up my son. It's like hard. Every noise is a noise to him, and so I'm just praying they do not wake up my dude. That's what I'm praying. So when I paint, I tend to use, especially when I do flowers, when I do other things, I will use multiple brushes, but I generally use one brush, and I don't use, this is acrylic paint, but I don't use any water or anything like that in between. I don't get it cleaned off. I like how the colors come from all of it. Like each one has added colors in there. And generally what I do is I put them on my little plate with this parchment paper, because I take the paint that dries. Alexa, stop. And I make jewelry and different things with them from the paint that dries, and then I glue them and do all that stuff. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm painting with all the colors, and generally I also put way too much paint on my paintbrush, and that also kind of gets me in trouble, because I will drop it randomly for whatever particular reason, and then have to get it readjust. So I'm kind of making these very messy, I think, but some days are like that. Today has been very emotional for me. It's just so much is going on. So much is going on with me. So much is going on for my friends. So much is just life, and grief. I lost my brother in 2021, but when does that stop? I can tell you it's not yet. It's just, there's days that I just need to ask him a question that I can't ask any other person. I can't. There's just, It's just him. I just need to talk to him. I need to ask him the question. I need him to tell me the answer. And I need it to be what I need it to be. Well, as we all know, that is not how this goes. But that doesn't change the fact that that's how I want it to go. So, we just have to move forward. I don't want to say move on because that's surely not the words. But we just have to keep moving. I don't know. Something. I don't even know what the right word is. I've probably not even said the right word. And then when you have that and then the other 9 million things on your mind, it's part of the life cycle, part of the grief cycle, part of the everything. And it's just emotional. And I try not to let that be my constant things, but and then there's all the other stuff to deal with. So today's just been one of those days. I think we go to church, and I think Sundays are one of those days that I sit in church a lot and I just go through the emotional, what's happening with everything. And I think since it seems like, I feel like I do that a lot on Sundays. And so, with that kind of thing, maybe that's why it's more so what I'm concentrating on days like this. I don't know. I didn't really want two spiky doodle kind of things together, but so be it. So be it. That's what happens sometimes. So now I'm trying to just kind of put on top of what I've already done, go back in and kind of fill in the story of what's happening here. And when you have when you have all the different layers, you have to kind of build it up and then figure out where everything goes, and then kind of go in and adjust what it's truly doing in the story, you see. So that's, we want that in there, and then we just have to kind of add some shading and so just kind of keep going till it kind of clicks in there, clicks where it's supposed to be. So, and so I'm going to go a little bit more this way here. And have to kind of push it out. And then we can always add back in, and you know, when it dries, I always say I love to watch paint dry, because when it dries, it's so fascinating to me to see what happens when it dries. I'm going to say when it dries about 20 more times. When it dries. I can't think. So if I make any attempt at, or see, I can't even talk. If I make any sense today, let's just leave it at that. That is like more than I could possibly imagine, because, oh, some days are just, you know, with Owen, he's got his things that he needs help with, or hard, or, you know, we had tons of electronic problems, and so that threw him off. And then just once we'd worked through some of that, the next phase would go through, and just so it's kind of trying to figure out how to get him to understand that we can't always have our tablet, our this or that, when we want it. It just, life is not, it's not as simple as just giving something 2 seconds on the charger and it's done. He has a very hard time not having the thing he wants when he wants it. And I mean, who doesn't? But trying to explain to him why something is taking too long is not, it's just not easy. It's just not easy to explain. Why would it be easy to explain? But it still kind of throws us into a curve some days. That is a lot of lines. I probably put way too many lines, but oh well. We have to go with the lines sometimes. And I'm about to put another one, but I'm going to do it with a little different coloring here, so it's just kind of extra there. So, okay, I'm walking away before I put way too many more lines. I always do O for Owen, and then L, and B. So there we go. You know what? I just see this, and it just needed a little extra dottage there. It just felt like it was, when it dried, it was gonna kind of fall in instead of being outward, I think. Sometimes I look at this, and then it's like when I move my head in the different lights, I know like that it's gonna just fade too much in certain things when it finally dries out. So there we go. Okay, now I can walk away. As I go and say another couple dots. So now I'm putting it down. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day and enjoy. Toodles!